This is LKJ Sports. My name is Clayton. I have here with me Leo and LJ. So, this episode we're going to talk about football, the NFL, um, and we're going to start with top five teams. Leo, what do you think?
Man, this year though, I can't lie. This year's been interesting because it's minus Chiefs, reigning Super Bowl champions, being 5-0. Uh, some teams that you expected to play kind of well, or the pundits or the media or whatever you want to do. When you do your power rankings, preseason power rankings, right? You have all these teams that were supposed to be up there that aren't really doing anything. You look at the Eagles, they're just okay, right? Dallas, nothing. The Rams, I know their top two receivers are out,
Yeah,
but I mean, you look at surprising teams though, like you know what I'm saying? Like you look in the NFC South, look at Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield's been playing his butt off. I would probably put them at number five on my list. Baker Mayfield's been balling. Now I can't lie, he had three interceptions last week, but they still won the game. He's been balling. So they impressed me. I'll say five. I would go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Four, I'm going Detroit Lions. Four. I mean, I know I'm gonna get killed for this, but I'm a big Jared Goff fan. In my eyes, he's the fifth best quarterback in the NFL. I'm a big Jared Goff guy. I know. He probably has the best weaponry in the NFL. He got two great running backs, his receiving core is stacked, a great tight end. O line's probably the best O line in football, great head coach, right? But you still got to make do with what you got. And I feel like he does really well. Very accurate, right? Minimizes his turnovers, smart. Got a great OC. They got a great relationship with Ben Johnson. I will go them four. Man, yeah, I'm gonna get killed for this, but I love it. That's why we do this. Three, three. I'm going with who would I put three? I'm going Kansas City three. I'm gonna put them three because they're 5-0, right? You got to give respect to the former Super Bowl champs, right? Reigning Super Bowl champs. I'll give them respect and put them three. Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes. Some people's eyes, he's the GOAT. That's a different conversation. We can talk about that another time. Great coach, right? I think that Rasheed Rice, man, that injury is going to really, really hurt them down the road, right? I know he won it last year with a mop bucket and a squeegee playing receiver, but I mean, I just don't see him repeating that because the two teams that I have above him, I think, are better equipped to take them down than they were last year, right? So number two, I'm going Baltimore Ravens again. Lamar Jackson, reigning MVP, playing his behind off. It seemed he's gotten better. He's reading the defense well. Zay Flowers, the Derrick Henry addition was probably the greatest free agent addition this past offseason, leading the league in rushing, right? They know they can now wind the clock down where it doesn't have to be Lamar running or throwing and putting himself in harm's way. You can just hand the ball to big number 22. The old line has gotten better. I'm a little bit worried about their defense, right? But I believe in my man Zach Orr, though. I know him. That's my guy. I believe in Mr. Orr, and I think they're gonna have a ton of talent on the defensive side. And number one, fellas, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills, man. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I'm rolling with Josh Allen. And JA17, I trust, man. I'm telling you, that's the one dude I feel like can put that Superman cape on and you can say, take me home, and he's going to take me home. I just believe in that man. They're 4-2, and who's his number one receiver? I know they just got the Amari Cooper trade, but before that, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir,
yeah,
Matt Collins, right? He hadn't really been giving the ball to Dalton Kincaid like that. James Cook was hurt, right? Ray Davis looks good to have a phenomenal old line, right? But he's the only quarterback in the NFL, starting quarterback with zero interceptions. I believe in that dude, man. I know, I know he has that with Haywire gene every now and then, but I just love his competitiveness, man. He's so competitive. Just in that game last week against the Jets, what does he do on third down? He does a little zone read and runs the ball for the game winning first down. I just love that fire about him, man. He never quits. He never thinks that he's down. He believes he's the best. I think that's what you need to take down that man Patrick Mahomes. And JA17, I trust, man. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills number one. LJ, who you got?
man, that's a good list. That's a good list. Mine's a little bit.
some optimism thrown in my list, but I think it's been an impressive start for some of these guys. I'd love to put my team at number 5, but I'm not going to. I'd love to say Chargers look like it, but they're not. They're not there yet. So my number 5 spot is going to go to the Washington Commanders. I think they're balling out. I think they're showing up. They got a rookie there that's really just lighting up the game. They're just fun to watch. Really, really excited to see what they can do. My number 4 spot, I think I'm gonna have to go with Detroit. Honestly, I said it's really fun to watch. I think they were robbed last year. Just overall fun team to watch these days. Like I said, their coach is throwing out trick plays. Don't see that many trick plays anymore, and he's just coming up with them. They're really cool, fun team to watch. And I mean, if any Dallas fans are out there, you guys just got embarrassed by them. It was pretty funny. I really enjoy watching them. 3, I'm gotta put the Chiefs in there, just because where they're at. I think you could argue you could put them up higher, but the day I don't think the Chiefs are playing very well. They're winning games
I
though,
agree.
so you got to
I
you got
agree.
to you got to respect that there. 2, I mean, there's a couple teams I want to put in 2. I want to put Houston there. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is if you're going to put the Chiefs in the top 5 list, you got to put the Vikings there. They're also 5-0. They're lighting it up. I said there are 2 teams that are 5-0 in this where we're at right now. Chiefs, Vikings. I think Vikings deserve to be considered one of the best teams currently. Through week 6 in the NFL.
Shout
So
out to Sam Darnold playing well.
Sam Darnold. Could you call him a comeback player? You know what I mean? Like didn't come back from an injury like that, but boys lighting it up. You know. Hopefully JJ McCarthy is learning from him, and when he's time to play, maybe McCarthy can come out there and look as good as he is. Because I don't think anyone predicted them to do what they're doing, and for them to be 5-0, very impressive feat. Um, that was my number 2, right? So number 1, I have to agree with you. Bills, Bills all the way. Bills are lighting it up. Josh Allen is playing really good football, not making mistakes we're used to seeing him make. I think he's on pace for if he can continue this out. I'm very early in the season to say this, but as of right now, he's definitely an MVP candidate. He's balling out. The team's looking great. Adding Amari Cooper is going to be really good, really really good. Not happy to see them uh, in the schedules and like that. That team's just gonna light up other teams. The
They got him
quarterback's
for
electric.
they stole him like a thief in the night for a third round
Man,
pick and a seventh round pick.
I was I
That's
was
nuts.
hoping my team would pick them up. I was like Amari Cooper's. If I didn't realize you get him that cheap. At the end of the day, I don't think anyone realized you could get him for that cheap. That's just crazy to me. Happy he didn't go to the Chiefs. I know they were eyeballing him as well. Very happy he didn't go there. I don't think the Chiefs needed any help. So Bills getting that. I think just adds to Josh Allen being uh, just balling out. They're gonna have some losses. Like they're not gonna have this crazy beautiful record, but they're gonna make the playoffs and they're gonna look pretty mean, pretty mean when they get there. So that's my number 1 as of right now. I'm probably see some changes there. There's teams I probably could have put on that list. Clayton, maybe they're on yours. But there's a lot of good teams right now in the NFL. A lot of records are looking solid. So that's where I'm sitting with mine. So what are your thoughts on that, Clayton?
Okay, so I'm gonna go from 1 to 5.
Okay.
Um, Definitely not putting the Bills number 1 because they've not beat any good teams. The 2 teams that they played that were good, they lost to. So I'm not gonna put them number 1. Um, Chiefs. They don't win pretty, and that's just how they are. And that's what champions do. And they just got Kareem Hunt. Um, they didn't have good receivers last year, and they're gonna lean on Kelsey, and they're gonna have Hunt there. They just win. Doesn't have to be pretty. Their defense is good. Um, the only reason I don't like it right now for them is they're winning early and they're 5-0 already. And usually with an NFL team, you kind of want to be your best towards the end of the season. And they're not, again, they're not probably playing that great, but they're still winning. But sometimes that takes it out of you, when you you win at the last minute. Like you're in that urgency, which they're used to it, but it's just not what you would prefer in a team that's going to make a long run towards the end of the season. So, but I'm going to put them there at one because they just find a way to win for sure. Number two. I want to say the Ravens. Derrick Henry is just, you know, they're not playing like the best that they can play, but again, that's okay. But with Henry, I think he's he's just a monster, and he has those runs that are just you, you really can't. There's no other player that can do that, in my opinion. With some of the runs he does, he's just it's crazy. He'll just break away, and he'll show up in the playoffs too. Like I don't think he'll shy away from that if he has the opportunity. With the Titans, I don't know if he had those opportunities, but I think with Baltimore, he'll have more opportunities to show what he can do, and that just will make so much of a difference for him as a player. So I'm gonna put him at number two. It's really a challenge. I want to put Minnesota at number three because they are 5-0. It's just premature, I think, for them, and we need to see more. I mean, as
I
of right
agree.
now,
I agree.
I know as of right now, I'd say it number three. Like I feel good about that right now. You know, um, if we're going by right now, I'm gonna say the Bills at number four. Um, they light it up when they play these teams that don't have good defenses. They know, they take care of it. They have the ability to light it up. You know,
Yep.
um, and they're not going to have a hard division really. I think the Jets are going to jump the Dolphins and be that second team now that Adams is there. I think Adams will have a bigger impact than Cooper. I'm not sold on Cooper. He's he's getting older. So is Adams too, but Adams and Rogers have that connection. They Adams knows the back shoulder pass, which you know Rogers throws all the time, and I think that will just you'll see
Yep.
it. We'll see it all the time with them, and that was they have better pieces than the Bills do with Brees Hall and their new running back. I forgot their new running back,
Breland Allen.
Allen. Yeah, yeah, him. I think that's a good combo right there. Power and uh,
Speed.
speed, and Brees Hall can catch. It's a good combination. And then Wilson, along with Adams, is a good mix. And even I think Conklin will start to open up more. And Lazard is still there. Like that's Lazard just he'll drop some passes, but he gets open,
Yeah.
and that Hail Mary killed my chances of winning this week in fantasy. But he it happens, and all they need to do is make it consistent at the end of the year. Um, and
It's
their
very true.
schedule is weak, is really weak coming up. They have a good chance of coming back, so I'm worried about for Bills. I'm worried about the Jets, but we'll see. Um, so am I on Bills was four, right?
Yep.
If the 49ers were healthy, then I could say that. If they were healthy, I would put them at 5, but that's not the case. Um,
Who's in
so
your 5 spot? I'm curious who your 5 is going to be.
yeah, there's about 3 teams that stick out to me, but I'm gonna go with the Lions. The big thing about the Lions that kills me is they just lost touch. They just lost touch. That really that's their guy. You know, he's their guy on defense, and he makes a difference. And but I'm gonna put him there. I got Atlanta and Tampa right there. They're both there, but I'm gonna put Lions 5.
Oh, Houston? Coming from a Houston fan, I was like, sadly, your team's looking the best of all of ours.
It's the injuries. You know, who's gonna be
Yeah,
healthy? Who's gonna be healthy? You know.
I
Um,
uh I think we all had good lists. Uh I gotta come back to this Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper point here. So if we think about last season, Amari Cooper had 5 different quarterbacks that played for the Cleveland Browns. 5. None of them are good. Deshaun Watson, is it fair to say he's washed, right? I'm not saying he wasn't great, but he's not great right now. Is that fair to say?
I agree.
oh yeah, like I didn't like. He was good statistically in Houston, but I never liked him going far in the playoffs.
Okay. And Amari Cooper still had 1,200 yards with 5 quarterbacks last season. So
Slept on.
I don't
He's
know.
very slept
I don't
on.
know. I don't know if I can say that he ain't no good no more. I just think that Deshaun Watson, that team is so broken, and you can just, I mean, we've all played sports, right? You don't have to play at the highest level to be able to read somebody's body language. That team don't believe in Deshaun Watson. You can just tell when they're out on the field. They don't believe in it.
I
Cooper is a
wasn't.
baller.
I wasn't sold on Cooper so much even when he was at Dallas.
Well,
Like
but
I
he was
did.
putting up the numbers though. What when you say
Yeah, he's
so?
just
What do you
Dallas.
mean?
Yeah, but that was what Dallas was all about, was putting up numbers. But I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about
In
like,
the playoffs?
yeah, I'm just talking about all just like Adams has a edge about him that you know I consider higher than, and his connection with Rodgers higher than with Josh Allen, because Josh Allen, I think he works better by spreading it around.
This is why he looks so good. I agree because he wasn't so focused on giving the ball to Diggs. I agree, but I'm saying you still have to have somebody that can consistently get open though. Kincaid can do that, but it's just different as a tight end. You need somebody on the outside that can get up. That like if you're 3rd and 10 and it's week 17 and winner take all for the division, you need a guy to say I need you to go give me 10 no matter what. Cooper's that guy. They don't have nobody like that. The Jets have Garrett Wilson, who is that dude.
Yeah, Gary Wilson's been
Uh,
balling.
I don't see Cooper as a go get 10. I see he's streaky. He was always streaky. But like, is he a cut?
Mm.
Can he cut? Like, is he that guy that get you that 10? I think Adams would get 10 a whole lot easier than Cooper.
He's
Well,
slower. Yeah, he's definitely
just
more of a
because he's
route.
bigger.
And
Who?
he's a route runner. Devontae.
Who?
He's slower and he's more of a
Well,
route runner, so he'd be better if
Cooper.
it backs that.
Cooper is known for his routes. That's why he gets open because he routes people up.
Yeah.
And he can go deep. And he can go. I'm not. If you're talking player for player, Devontae's better than Amari Cooper. I agree. But I'm saying for what Adams is going to give the Jets, it won't be as big as impact as what Cooper is going to be because Cooper comes in as wide receiver one. Devontae comes in as wide receiver 1A, 1B, whatever you want to say. Yeah, he's better than Garrett Wilson, but Garrett Wilson is a wide receiver one, period. He just is. He's that good of a player. So his
Yeah.
target share is not going to be very high.
I think he'll impact the Bills more, but the overall result of who goes further and who can, beat, have a higher ceiling, that him including those weapons is higher than the Bills.
Sure.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
didn't at the end of the day, you got to be able to look. You got to be able to look Patrick Holmes in the eye come December. You got to, because that's that dude. You got to be. You got to be able to look him in the eye come December. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have home field advantage. You got to come to Arrowhead and be able to look that man in the eye. And I just believe in. I either believe in J17 or I trust Lamar Jackson. I just do. I just. But I don't. I don't. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is capable of doing that anymore. That's just me.
You don't have a coach either. I think that's a huge thing. I don't think people are taking you're taking into consideration there. They don't have a coach. You
Their
know what I mean?
DC's a head coach, but it's
No,
all.
but
Yeah.
that's the thing though. That team, whether the drama, that's the internal locker room drama, whether Aaron Rodgers had a part to play in that, whether he didn't, just the speculations, right? You're the head of your team, being the coach. It's not there anymore. Obviously, they're going to get someone to go there for sure.
Sure.
Keep the interim,
Sure.
it's whatever. But I think that's something that lingers throughout this season. Like I said, you need that stability, and obviously, so Devontae and Aaron Rodgers, the history, the rapport, it should come back very quickly, and it should be pretty electric to watch. But at the same time, like I kind of thought we'd have the same thing when Devontae went to the Raiders and
Right.
not
Right.
Drew
With
Brees,
Derek
sorry,
Carr.
Derek Carr. I
Derek
mean, it was
Carr.
college, right? Like we thought management
Yeah,
and stuff
but
like that kind of didn't allow that to go as long as we could have thought it would be, but they didn't. They didn't. They had some good games, but they didn't look like
No,
everyone
they didn't
thought
light
they
it
would,
up. No,
right?
I agree. I agree.
but there's a total difference between the Raiders offense and the Jets offense right
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, when the Raiders had, they actually weren't
But
bad.
is there
You had
though?
Renfro. You had Renfro, which was it when Renfro was playing, was
Right.
still really
Right.
good.
Right.
You
now.
had Darren
He
Waller.
got
And
hurt
Josh
though.
Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs.
Waller got
Yeah,
hurt. Then Waller
No,
yeah. I
got
I
mean,
hurt.
agree.
yeah, he
But I'm
did.
just
But
I, the Jets aren't explosive, bro. Even with all them weapons, they're not very. Even this past week, they were explosive. How many points did they score? 20, 17? What did 20 to 17?
I think but they also take possession. They're slow.
Sure.
Rogers, like they run down the clock a lot. They're not a fast team, and I think they do that intentionally to
what's
bring the
Rodgers? He's
ball.
skilled. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a clock managing. Knows he's more veteran than obviously. Like I said, if you're going to compare the two, Josh Allen versus Rodgers, Rodgers is one. He's very tenured. Obviously knows how to control the game better than some of most other quarterbacks in his position. Right? Like he's very football smart. He's going to know how to
Be,
manage the game better.
be
well, I'm
careful.
I'm not saying that against Allen. I just was referring to what I saw when I was
Hmm.
watching them. I can't say
Sure.
that. I'm not saying he's better in that way than Josh Allen. Um,
Aaron Rodgers
that's
hasn't been better than Josh Allen in a while, and that's the truth.
I'm
no, I
not
meant
talking
in
from
that
throwing. I'm
way.
talking about game management. Like I said, he's a more tenured game managing quarterback. Like I said, it just comes with time. I think Josh Allen's a better quarterback right now. Just as far as overall, but I think
I
him
mean,
getting Amari. I think him getting Amari. Though I agree with you. Him getting Amari is more
I'm
impactful.
gonna sound like a big hater with what I'm about to say. Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but in my opinion, he's one of the one of the more overrated quarterbacks that ever played. With all that arm
Ever?
talent he's got, yeah, and he's only been a Super Bowl one time. I think that's
It's
overrated in my opinion.
it's the Packers. I'm telling you, it's the market. I swear,
Hey,
it's
they
the
had the number
market.
one seed. They had the number one seed in the NFC numerous times, and he choked. So I'm just keeping it in the bill, man. I know that's not a popular opinion. I know that makes me sound like a hater, but go back and look at it, man. There's so many times where he wet the bed when they needed him to play well.
That's fair. Again, some of the most entertaining wins from him are his Hail Mary wins. Like he is Mr. Hail Mary to win it, right? I mean, obviously it's
It
on the
sounds like
receiver to catch
someone
the
else
ball.
that was at Green Bay, doesn't it? Who else was at Green Bay that did Hail Marys all the time?
Brett Favre was better than Aaron
Brett
Rodgers, though.
Brett Favre.
I'm aware of Brett Favre, but
I think
part
Brett
of the
Favre
system.
had a lot more interceptions, didn't he?
Played a different
But
era of football though too. That's a
and,
hard
and, and,
comparison.
and was still able to win though at the highest level with all them picks. Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over, and he's only been a Super Bowl one time.
I don't know, different era of
It's
football too. It's hard to compare the two, man. Different era.
Brett Favre never missed games. I think Brett Favre is a great player. I just do.
I would probably agree that I'd go Favre over Rodgers, but Rodgers again, no scrub. Like I said, he is going to be a
No, it's first ballot Hall of
first
Famer.
ballot Hall of Famer for
Farthest
sure.
thing from a scrub.
Yeah, I don't know. It's exciting to see again. For Jets fans out there, like they're finally instead of hearing like, oh man, it's the damn Jets, right? We're Jets fans. We're awful. I mean, Rodgers ain't gonna be there for very long. Like I said, what is he? 42?
One.
41? So yeah, last year, obviously he had the injury. Come back this year, not looking bad at all. Signed Devontae Adams for him. Maybe make a run for playoffs. I don't know about Super Bowl with them this year, but
Well,
you got
I'm not trying to cut you off. Did you say he hasn't looked bad?
this year. He hasn't looked bad. He's not looking off.
What?
You think
Have
he
you
looked bad?
horrible?
You think
Did
he
you
looked
watch the Denver
horrible?
game? Did you watch the Denver game? He was awful.
Again,
But did you see the other? Did you see the
out of
Minnesota game? He
out
was
of
awful.
out of 6 weeks, I'm saying he has not looked bad. Does he look amazing? Does he look like old Aaron Rodgers? Absolutely not. Does he look like a quarterback that in that team and that system that can get the Jets to the playoffs? I think it's a possibility. I think it's a very, very likely possibility that they can sneak into the playoffs.
Okay.
Are they taking their division? No, I don't see them taking their division. Wild card? I think it's likely.
Okay.
Just saying. Also, when you talk about the Vikings are 5-0. Someone's got to lose. Someone's got to lose a game. He lost to the Vikings. They're 5-0. Lamar,
I,
your boy Lamar
I just,
Jackson. Who did he lose
I
to?
just,
5-0
I
team.
just, I just feel like a lot of these quarterbacks, man, they get let off the hook because of their reputation and how good they used to be. Aaron Rodgers, again, first ballot Hall of Famers, probably one of the 10, 12 greatest not probably one of the 10, 12 greatest quarterbacks ever, right? It's okay to say he's playing. He hasn't played well this year. It's just the truth.
Again, I think he's playing well enough in assist. And again, with Devontae Adams coming there, he's again hasn't been bad. Like I'm not gonna say he's
Okay.
bad. There's
Okay.
quarterbacks I would put way, way before him when we're like, hey, they're looking bad. Like
That's not the
bad.
same thing. We're talking about this season. You're
But I'm
talking
talking
about
about
his
this
body. You're
season.
talking about
No,
his
I'm talking
body
about
of
this
work.
season. I'm talking about this season. He doesn't look bad. I think he looks average. Looks enough to get that team to a wild card.
Okay. Okay.
I think there's been some terrible bad drops though when I've watched the Jets. Just some straight
That's
up.
every team has bad
Nah,
drops.
I'm talking like
There are, but
like
every team has it.
bad. It's funny with Lazard. Like he'll
He drops it
he
all the time.
he caught a pass that like went through a defender's like hip. It literally went through his hip, and he caught. Was that Lazard? I think this
Yeah, that
past
was
week.
Lazard. Yeah,
Like he and
that was
literally,
Terrell Bernard.
it was like right through the hip, and he
Yeah,
caught that. Like
I don't
how?
know how Rogers fit that in there. That was a freakish throw, but it's like you catch
like
that, but you drop the ones right here. Yeah, I
yeah,
got you.
he'll literally just
Yeah,
sit there, and boom, oh, drop. Like it's bad. Like but he's caught the Hail Mary. Just
He played well Monday night though.
yeah, you have redeeming moments, but yeah, there are some blatant like receivers that are dropping passes the last 2 or 3 years, whether from any team, right? You're like, it is right here, perfect. You're taught as a kid, right? Get it, boom, and they're dropping it. I'm like, I know some of the quarterbacks got some pepper on it, like they're slanging that thing, but it's your job. It's your one job in the NFL. Catch that ball, especially when they're super catchable and right in their line of vision,
Well,
uncontested.
no great receiver ever, from Jay Rice to T.O. to Jamar Chase to the people we got now, who Tyreek Hill. Well, everybody's got drops. It's just how it goes. It's part of the game.
Yeah, but some of them are just like, what are you doing?
I
I
agree.
get if you like, hey, you weren't paying attention. Your route was, they threw the ball before your route's over, and you didn't get the full look on it. You still got to make the play, but I'll
But
give some leeway on some situations. But other ones when it's like, boom, wide open, hits their fingertips, and it just falls out. You're like,
well,
what are you
everybody's
doing?
gonna have concentration drops, so there's no perfect player. It's just how it goes.
No, it does.
I know it's frustrating, and but I don't know what to say, but it happens.
It
I
happens.
can't.
Yeah,
I don't know why it does. It just does.
yeah.
There's
So every
nobody
team's
that ever
got
catches
it.
the ball every time.
Yeah, so everything's going to have those situations. Last year, when everyone picked on the Chiefs and gave them excuses for it, but at the end of the day, it's around every team. Every NFL
Huge
team is going to have
excuses.
those. As every team's gonna have like, oh, that receiver dropped that ball, or why didn't he catch that ball, or it's everywhere. It's just certain ones get more advertised. I feel like.
I feel like the Texans have been decent about drop passes. I haven't noticed too many bad ones with them.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, they're a team I might probably watch the most. I haven't. They don't really have one that's like really bad at dropping passes, so that's been
y'all got
fortunate.
that man though. Y'all got that man, Nico. Nico, he don't drop very many,
He's been good, but he just keeps getting banged up. So
and it's always soft tissue injuries too. That's the thing, like hammies and groins. Just kind of makes you wonder, you know.
Yeah. I got a question for the two of y'all. Who do you think is the first 5-0 team? It's only two of them now, right? To lose. I kind of have a thought that it could be this week.
I think the Chiefs gonna lose to the 49ers. That's just my opinion.
I think after a bye week they should come back healthier, but I also think that the Niners, like I said, people just lose games. Like I said, any team can take any team. It's football, right? Any team can have any team's number any given Sunday, any given day of football, right? I see the Chiefs losing this one. I really do. Uh, but who do y'all think? I said your first ones to lose your 5-0.
man, y'all are just some big haters, aren't y'all?
So it's San Fran. That's why I'm picking it. I think San Fran's just going to come out and they're just
We don't
going to
get the Chiefs
drop
no
them.
love, huh, bro?
Hey, I hang out with Chiefs fans all the time. I got to deal with it. It is what it is. I'm a Chargers fan, but that's just I think that matchup is not favorable for them after a
I
bye.
agree.
I see
I
them
agree.
losing that one. And also, they need to lose games. They need to learn and build. If they go undefeated and people want them to three-peat, I don't see them going undefeated and three-peating. That's just a huge undertaking to have. If I was trying to three-peat, I'd want a couple losses to build from. You know,
Well, I don't think you
Yeah,
ever want to lose. I won't say that. Now, I do think you can
it's a
learn
huge
from your
undertaking.
losses, but I don't think you ever go into it saying, "I think it's good that we lose some games." I don't think as a
You don't
competitor
want to lose.
you
You
can
don't
never think
want
like
to.
that.
No, but if
ah,
you do, you can build from it. Like I said, when the Patriots went undefeated, when they went to Super Bowl, what did they do?
they
Who they
lost.
lose to though? You remember?
Oh, no, no, no. No. Doesn't matter who they lost to. They lost with Randy Moss, right? Like that was a huge joke with the roast and stuff. But like that team
I was just
was
asking.
insane. They lost to a mediocre team. You know,
To
the
Eli
crypt the
Manning.
kryptonite of Brady's kryptonite.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. But anyway, so sorry. Let me derail that. Who do you think's gonna lose first 5-0 Clayton?
So they're both coming off a bye.
Yep.
Um, Vikings have Detroit, but it's in Minnesota. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what's Chiefs? Is it in 49ers?
I think it's at San Fran, I believe.
Nah, they're gonna get up for that game.
I,
They're gonna get
both
up.
They could both lose this week, though. Too is kind of the wild kind of answer to that too. They both could lose both their games because Detroit's coming off hot. But I'm picking Chiefs to lose. But
I'm gonna pick Minnesota to lose
it's fair.
because Chiefs get up for those games. They have this one on the calendar, and I think with 49ers, if they had McCaffrey healthy, I'd feel very confident that 49ers would win. But I don't know. You know, I think, yeah, I think I'm more confident in Lions, even though they just lost touch. I think that will definitely make a difference. But in a way, in a way, this has got to be a bounce back for the Lions if they want to show that they're a good team. You know, I feel like a lot of people are doubting them, and this is they need to prove this. You know, because this is what who did they play before? Let's
Oh,
see, the Lions.
Dallas.
So
That's it.
the only good team they played is Tampa, and they lost to them. I guess Seattle is okay,
Seattle doesn't look bad, so I would say
Well,
that was a
but
good win.
but
I,
this
I,
is this is
I
the best team that they've played, though. I think.
I understand when we say that, right? And I know that has to factor into it, but you can only play who's on your schedule, man. Something has to be said for whether those teams are good or not. They're destroying these teams, though. They're not like it's not like they're destroying these teams, right? I mean, you can only play. You can. There's not very many great teams in the NFL anyway. So I
Well,
mean,
they beat I, they beat the Rams by 6. They beat the Cardinals by 7. You know, Dallas is a bad. I mean, yeah, they destroyed them, but that's not the first game Dallas has gotten destroyed. So, I mean, this is the this is their time to prove themselves, though, for sure. Like out of their whole schedule, you know,
I
Minnesota's
mean,
undefeated.
and what Brock Purdy is going to show up. You know what I'm saying? And Brock Purdy plays well. I mean, I'm picking the 49ers, but I'm saying, bro, you never know. He could throw for 300 and then come back with 3 interceptions. He just so up and down. At least this year, I won't lump him into that for his whole career because he had a very, very good year last year. But this year, he's just been so up and down. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how Brock Purdy plays. But I agree. I'm rolling with the 49ers, man.
Super Bowl
I
rematch.
I think they're gonna be fired up, especially because they lost in the Super Bowl when it was a very good game. Debo's back. I need Ayuk to produce some. Shout out Brandon Ayuk, man. I need some fantasy love. Uh, Kittle. I mean Mason. I think Mason was hurt, but that other cat they had come in was toting that rock. He was running that thing. And then you got Fred Warner, bro. Fred Warner,
I don't think
man.
he's healthy.
But that dude, he's just different, man. That man at the Mike linebacker spot, that dude. Yeah, hey, shout out Fred Warner, man. You're an amazing football player. That dude, he's just different, bro. He's just different.
Yeah, I don't think he's healthy for this game though, so that would be a factor. I don't check, but I think he's questionable to play. Obviously, I say him and Bosa should just be very entertaining on that defensive front. Uh, my prediction here, they lose. Chiefs lose to that rematch Super Bowl type game, regular season. 49ers sneak away with this win. I don't know if 49ers, being as banked up they are a Super Bowl contender team again, but it's one of those things if they were to go back and rematch in the Super Bowl, Chiefs get the better of them in the Super Bowl, would be my kind of thought there, right? This is the revenge match, regular season. 49ers take it in regular season. Chiefs take their first L. That's where I'm going with it.
49ers by 17, man. And Chiefs aren't making it back to the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
49ers by
No.
17.
Again, I don't want them to go Super Bowl. I said
We
like
already
if
know
that were to go.
Your whole thing's biased right here.
Yeah. Hey,
Seventeen.
I don't like the Chiefs at all, and
I'm going 49ers by 17.
17. I don't see the Chiefs gonna be by 17. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't. I could say maybe 7, maybe 10.
Yeah,
I
7-10 if they were to lose.
17.
If they were to lose, but Chiefs are going to win.
I don't see 17, man. I'm sorry. I think crazy think they're gonna lose by
I,
17.
I think their defense is gonna be headhunting Mahomes. I don't know. I just have this feeling. I think Brock Purdy is about to air it out. I think Ayuk and Debo and Kittle are gonna have monster games.
Well, we
I
just
think
talked
yeah,
about the Chiefs defense on and on about how it's good.
it's
So
good. That's what I said. I don't
are
see
they
17.
they blitz the most probably than any team in the league. So what?
Agnolo's a great DC. He was with the Giants when they won the Super Bowl.
So
But any team can. Their corners though they don't have the boy Snead no more. McDuffie's very good, but Watson on the other end can be had, and Chris Jones is really the only consistent pass rusher you're gonna get up the middle. And I mean, hey, we'll see. That's why you got to play the game. But Trent Williams is that dude. So shout out Trent Williams, OU alum. We feel you. Uh, hey man, I'm rolling with Brock Purdy to outplay Patrick Mahomes. That's just how I feel.
I agree that
the
he's going to outplay
most
him. I think he's going to outplay him. Matt Holmes' QBR and where he's at this season is not impressive as far as when you think of what
they
he is.
get up for these games. They get up
I
for them.
agree. I agree.
Like
And again, he's after a bye week. Taylor Swift is, worn that Travis Kelsey
I
out.
don't
I
want.
just
I don't
don't
want.
think
I don't
that
want.
was
I don't want to hear none
compensated.
of that. But
I'm kidding. But no, it's a rematch from the Super Bowl. It's regular season. I think they lose their undefeated streak on this one.
It's
But
just it's they got up for the Ravens, they got up for the Bengals, they got up for the Chargers just because it's a in division rival. Like they're gonna get up for this game. They may lose. I bet you they have a better chance of losing to the Raiders because they just like dismiss them and you know lose. You know,
I see Broncos taking them again. They took them last year. I can see Broncos taking them personally at some point this year just because their defense is really good. Broncos defense is pretty stacked. But I don't know. I think this is
You
their
believe
first
in Bo
L.
Nix, though. That's what it's gonna come down to. At the end of the day,
No,
bro, you got to be able to score some points. Nobody's saying he's a bum, but you got to score in order to be able to win. You can have great defense, but you got to at least score a little bit.
yeah. But no, yeah, that's what I look forward to the next week of football. This will be some interesting games. I'm hoping no teams are left undefeated after this. But if I had to vote for one to stay undefeated, it's the Vikings. So
yeah.
Like it, man. That was a good conversation, fellas. That's what I love about That's what I love about what we got going, man. Good conversation, good knowledge, uh, good, good flow. And I appreciate the conversation, man. I'm Leo. That's LJ. That's Clayton. LKJ Sports. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Tune in. Peace.